Hey Candies, it is your girl Candice Amaru, and I am back with a I don't want to say weird video, but nonetheless probably unexpected. Um as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be my first pap smear experience. Da da da. So, disclaimer. If you are a guy and you do not care to hear about anything having to do with the female's region, not like that, but like, you know, that type of stuff, then you can exit now. Okay, did you leave? Okay. If you are immature and you are not ready to hear this type of video, then you can exit now. Okay, did you leave? All right. So, for everyone who is still here, welcome. I'm going to be talking to you guys about my first pap smear. So, this video I hope is not going to be that long. I don't expect it to be. I'm sorry, I have like hair on my nose. But I hope it's not going to be that long, but I really wanted to come just share my experience with you guys, just in case someone else out there is about to have their first pap smear, or you know, they're anticipating it or they don't know what to expect. I'm just gonna share what happened with me, my thoughts beforehand and my thoughts after, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit of, you know, medical history or whatever, just to kind of let you know. But I'm, you know, I'm not like a doctor or physician or anything like that. So, you know, if you really have like some serious questions, I would totally suggest that you check with your doctor, your, you know, physician or whatever, not Google. You know, if you really want to know more about it from a medical standpoint. But this is just my, you know, thoughts on it. So, okay, so what is a pap smear? I am doing this video basically off the top of my head. I didn't take down any notes, so I'm going to give you, you know, what I was explained to as a pap smear. So I don't have like the correct medical terminology and all that. You guys know how to look things up, so yeah. So a pap smear, what my doctor explained to me, was basically an exam down there. Basically, your doctor will check for HPV, which is like cervical cancer. And they're gonna check for it down there. They take like a sample of your tissue, or they just take a sample from down there, whatever. We're just going to call it the V. So they're going to take a sample from the V, and basically they send it to the lab and they make sure, you know, everything is, you know, checked out. So the exam, if it's a normal exam, it's only going to last like 10 minutes, you know, depending on your doctor, but like 10 minutes. So basically, I just turned 21, and in California, which is where I live, the actual age limit for pap smear is 21, but it's been changing for like the longest. Like when I first when I first started going to the doctor for like sexual type things, like, you know, condoms and birth control and stuff like that, back then it was when you become sexually active, and then after that it changed to 18, and then it changed to 21. So when I first became sexually active, when I went to the doctor, they told me that I would need to get a pap smear. So basically, when I came back, they were like, oh, you know, they just changed it, so you know, don't need to get it now or whatever. So fast forward, up until I was turning 21, like when I was 20, I would go back and forth to the doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, Candace, you're gonna be 21 in a couple months, you need to schedule your pap smear appointment, blah blah blah. And, you know, it just kind of goes through one ear and out the other, whatever. Because for me, and I know for most people, there's so much stigma wrapped around a pap smear, that it's painful, mainly that it's painful. And so, you know, of course you need to get it done, but who just wants to do that? And you just hear all these things about it. So my last doctor's appointment, I went, they were like, all right, Candace, you're 21, and this is like 2 weeks after my 21st birthday. So they were like, well, when are you going to schedule it? So I'm like, ah. And they're like, okay, well, we have an opening up for tomorrow. And so it happened to be my day off. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is a sign that I have to go. So I scheduled the appointment, and I don't know, I was super nervous. Like, I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, they're making me get a pap smear. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. My phone had actually died. But anyways, I forgot where I left off. So yeah, so they're like, okay, Candace, like, it's time for you to schedule it or whatever. So I called my mom and I'm like freaking out, like, oh my God, Mom, like, they're making me do this crazy thing. She's like, oh my God, Candace, like, everybody has to do it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So she's like, all right, good luck. So fast forward to the next day. I get ready. I go to the doctor or whatever. And my appointment was like at 1 or whatever. And I got there at like, no, it was 1:15, and I got there at like 1:14. Then they called me back at like 1:20. So not that any of that matters. I'm just trying to think of everything that happened that day so I don't forget anything. But anyways, so they brought me back to this first room. So basically in the room, they sat me down or whatever. And then she's like, oh, your makeup is so pretty, and like, she's having like this small talk with me, and I'm like, look, you and I both know what's about to take place, so let's cut the chitter chatter. No, I'm kidding, but I guess she's just trying to like relax me or whatever, because I guess people just know I love talking about makeup, whatever. So then she starts asking me these questions, obviously from like a computer. And so she's like, okay, so how many sexual partners have you had? Then she's like, so, when was the last time you had sex? And then she's like, so do you have sex with men or women or both? And then she's like, do you have sex with, and then, depending on your answer, she's going to say, okay, if you have sex with, men, do you have sex with men who have sex with men and women, or both? Like, these like crazy questions. And do you take drugs? Did you use a needle in the last 6 months? And do you work out regularly? And just a lot of things. And I'm sure there's a reason for all these questions, I'm sure, but it was just really like, what, like, why are you asking me this? What does this have to do with, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So I answered the questions, whatever. And so then she brings me back into like this other waiting room. And so she called it the internal waiting room. So it wasn't the first waiting room, but another one. So she brought me back, and it was like these 6 girls, and they were all just kind of sitting there or whatever. And it's like, how when you're in a waiting room at like, the doctor, and it's just kind of like, oh, I wonder what she's here for. And oh, what is she here for? And they're just looking at you, and just, so weird. And we're like all like around the same type of the same age or whatever. So we were just kind of all like, everybody's on their phones and, just spaced out or whatever. So so she comes in and she calls my name. So I'm like, oh my God, like, okay. So I get up or whatever, and I walk to this room, and she's like, okay, I just need you to undress or whatever from the waist down. So I'm like, okay. So me, as soon as she leaves and closes the door, it's like a mirror on the door. So I'm like snapping pictures, obviously before I take off my clothes, you guys. But I'm like snapping pictures, like, ooh, full body mirror, whatever. Then I'm like, okay, focus. So I change. So then that was like the nurse. So then the doctor comes in, and then she's like, oh, she didn't tell you, you need to take off like all your clothes, not just waist down. And I'm like, oh shit, like, why? Like, so she leaves, whatever. So I take off everything. So I'm just laying there. So she comes back in, and so she's like, okay, well, we're going to have to examine your breast. And so I'm like, well, I know this is not a mammogram, because my doctor told me that I don't get a mammogram until I'm like 40. So I'm like, I know I'm not 40. So she's like, no, it's not a mammogram. We just have to make sure that like there's no cyst or any abnormalities in your breast. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, put your hands back or whatever. So she's like, and so then it's just really weird, because it's like, you don't look your doctor in the eye where they're like massaging your boobs. So it's like, you just kind of turn away, like, So she's like feeling them, and I'm like, everything's okay. So then, she sits like at the end of like where I'm laying or whatever. She's like, okay, so you're gonna scoot your butt all the way down. So I like scoot my butt all the way down, and I don't even know what happened after then. So then she's talking to me about something, like we're having a conversation, and I just feel this sharp pain, like this sharp pain, like down there. And I'm just like, that hurts. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but that hurts. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you know. So she takes it out, then she puts lubricant on it. So then she, you know, tries to put it back. I'm like, that hurts. That's painful. And I wasn't even being dramatic, because I can be dramatic, but I was trying to get in and get out anyway. So, you know, if it was bearable pain, I definitely would have just taken it. But, you know, I was like, that hurts. So then she took it out, and then she put in another one, and that one, it hurt too. So then she got like a plastic applicator, and I'm saying one because there's a specific name for what they use to open you up, but that's what they were doing, opening me up so they can look in there or whatever. So she got like a plastic one, or a butterfly one. It was like the smallest one that they had, and you know, that one was a little painful, but it was like bearable. So side note, you guys, during any type of female exam, if anything is painful or it hurts, you need to let your doctor know. Like, don't think that you're being over dramatic or anything like that. Like, you know, okay, so I lost memory. I'm actually recording on my phone, but anyways, let's finish this on up. So as I was saying, if you're experiencing any type of like pain or discomfort that's like unbearable, let your doctor know, you guys. Like, just don't feel like, okay, it's a pap smear, it has to be this painful. Like, let them know, and they'll be able to tell you, you know, if what you're experiencing is, you know, normal, or if it's not. Like, just let them know. Like, that's what they're there for. And if you don't feel comfortable with your doctor, who's ever performing the procedure, then let like your receptionist know, you know, or you don't have to do it right then and there. If you feel uncomfortable, just tell them, you know what, hey, I'm just gonna reschedule this, you know, and like leave and reschedule it with a different doctor. Like, you know, this is your body, this is, you know, something that you're gonna have to go through. I think you get a pap smear every 3 years. So you want to be with someone that you trust, especially down there in your lady parts, you know. So she went ahead and she did it, and everything went fine. Like, she put it in or whatever, and it was like 5 minutes, and I didn't even feel anything down there. Like, I was like, are you done? And she's like, yeah, like, I'm done. I'm like, wow. So, you know, it didn't take that long. So yeah, at my doctor's office, they say no news is good news. So that was about 2.5 weeks ago, and they let you know within a week, and I haven't heard from them. So, you know, God willing, everything's fine. So yeah, I mean, it's something that I totally, you know, think that you young ladies should do. Like I said, and I don't know what it is in different states. Sorry, I don't know what it is in different states. Some states, the pap smear is when you're 18, you know, or when you're sexually active, or when you're 21. So definitely do your research about it, you know, figure out when it's, you know, right for you to go ahead and get your pap smear. But I would definitely say go ahead and do it. Like I said, these are my honest experiences. You know, if, like I said, there's a lot of stigma around it being very painful, you know, but once I felt pain, I did let my doctor know, and, you know, she, you know, modified it for me so that I was comfortable, you know. So just keep that in mind. There are other options, you know. I didn't have to just sit there and, you know, bear the pain. She found, you know, a tool that was right for me, and that I was able to get it done, and, you know, that was it. So, you know, keep that in mind and do your research. But I definitely strongly suggest that you guys go ahead and get your pap smear done. It's very, very important, especially as young ladies. You want to make sure that your health is good overall, especially, but of course, like your, you know, body parts and womanly parts and stuff like that. You don't want to go, you know, years without knowing if you have like cervical cancer or anything, you know, that's wrong down there, when all you have to do is, you know, go in for an exam, and they can definitely, you know, let you know. But so my tips would be, just make sure it's somebody that you trust. The woman who performed my procedure, she was, and I'm saying procedure like I got like my boobs done, or like an augmentation, like, but I don't know what else to call it. But the lady who performed my pap smear, I've never had her as as my doctor before. My doctor was actually out, but she was totally cool, you know, so I trusted her. I'm not very picky, like I have to have the same doctor. I really just wanted to get it done. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I wanted to just get it done. Like, you know, I was just ready for it to be over. So I wasn't tripping, but you know, like I said, just number one, let it be somebody that you're, you know, comfortable with. Number two, just make sure that you ask as many questions as you like I asked her so many questions, like, you know, what is this for? What is that? So, you know, God forbid I do have it. What happens now? Like, I was asking her so many questions. So make sure it's someone that you're comfortable with so that when you want to ask questions, you can ask them questions and you feel totally secure with it. But other than that, that is going to be the end of this video. I told you guys it's going to be short and quick. So I love you guys. I'm gonna upload another video probably after this. So if you see me in the same thing, it's the same day. Don't be tripping. But I love you guys. Stay tuned and have a wonderful day. Bye, you guys.